Yeah, like sometimes I can't even anymore with some of these people. Okay, so once again, and I'm in my glue shirt, not that I think you can tell, but decoupage represent. Okay, anyway, so the question is, what if it was possible to adopt homeless people? So here's my answer, and I preface, trigger warning, I'm going to basically be implicitly called a bit at the end of this. So just if you're not into that sort of thing, or just you've been warned. Okay, anyway, what if it was possible to adopt homeless people? What makes people think that adopting people experiencing homelessness even makes sense? That's why it isn't possible. I'm about to shoot straight from the hip. Sorry about the caps, but I'm trying to make a distinction, not yell. What about them do you think needs to be adopted? 52% of people experiencing homelessness lack affordable housing. Do you think that the retail manager single mom who works 40 hours a week for a bullshit wage needs to be adopted? She needs an apartment. Rent her your basement. The next cause of homelessness is unemployment. They don't need a mommy, they need a job. The next cause is underemployment. Someone like me with a bachelor's degree in psychology and a background working with special populations didn't need a mommy, I needed a client. Okay, brief pause. Notice the past tense. Okay, now, the next cause is mental illness and substance abuse. Are you equipped to adopt someone with severe dissociative schizophrenia? I'm not even sure if that's a thing, but it makes sense, whatever, right? So can you afford the medication and support services? Are you prepared to adopt someone who will manipulate you into a position for them to acquire drugs behind your back, either by stealing money from you or by arranging deals near your house? Are you prepared to operate a rehab facility? What exactly do you think you would be adopting? It is possible to gain knowledge about a topic before brainstorming solutions. Adopt is not the verbiage you want to use here. They aren't highways that need regular litter pickup. For the most part, they aren't orphans. And even if they are runaways, there are a lot of unaccompanied minors who are homeless. You wouldn't be able to properly adopt them without some form of parental or guardian knowledge. There are real solutions for real people. Okay, so now we get this comment. Let's see if I can even get back to it. Okay, so about an hour ago, this dude named Tony says, "You're being way too harsh. People do adopt homeless people. They concentrate on a single individual, bring them food regularly, and check on their welfare, and provide human contact to lessen their isolation, plus much, much more. Adopt may not be the best word, but they do act as beneficiary angels." So my response goes as follows. I warned about that at the beginning of my answer. What you describe is not adoption. That sounds like a friend to me, or as you put it, a benefactor. I don't know your background, but as someone who has experienced chronic homelessness, past tense once again, I find the term adopt in this sense to be a perfect example of patronizing. The question specifically states, what if it were possible? The activities you describe as adoption do not fit the definition the querent is working with because they are clearly all possible to do. Adoption is, quote, the act of taking something as your own, end quote. It is not performing acts of kindness for another individual. This is not my first rodeo with this word in this context on Quora. It is not a matter of mere semantics. If you have a neighbor who is living alone after her husband passed, and you bring her food every once in a while and check in on her or pay attention that she is collecting her mail, have you adopted this woman, or are you just being neighborly? You say I am too harsh. I say you are giving yourself too much credit, Angel. I have done all of the things you mention here before, during, and after my own homelessness, and it never crossed my mind to think of myself so highly as a result. So here's his almost immediate response. I think I can see why you're homeless, given your attitude. Maybe you should be put in the dog pound to see if anyone will adopt you. So I just said, I haven't been homeless for years. I am unapologetic for having dignity and self-respect. Being direct is not an attitude problem. So as you can see, first problem here, like, he seems to have some reading comprehension issues. I don't intend for this video to kind of turn into like super slander, but I just kind of wanted to put this out there because I feel like this really is an actual issue that's on the plate of people who are experiencing homelessness. There seems to be a lot of this idea that people who are like financially stable should be allowed to just like take up these people. And so at the risk of sounding inflammatory, so like I said, I'm not intending for this to offend anybody, but if it does, like I said, I'm apologizing before I say it. But using the word adopt in this way, as in adopting people to come into your home, and usually what they mean is like some kind of a work trade, like, oh, well, they could come, like, you can pitch a tent in my backyard as long as you mow it once a week. This sort of thing is closer to a description of what slavery was. Actually owning another human being because you feel as though what you provide for them gives them a better life than they had without you. So anyway, like I said, I get like slavery was like much, much, much worse. But if you had a spectrum from beneficiary angel to slavery, adoption is like right here. Okay. So just wanted to put that out there real quick. Maybe I'll go through the editing process and put some screenshots. So if you want to read along or pause because I am high on green tea. But just wanted to spit that out real quick. Post another video this week. Keep up with some stuff. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. It's only Wednesday and I'll see you next time. Bye.